What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris casting another round of third round match of the Balt Cup 2. Didn't realize that I would be doing this, but here I am. This is going to be between Game Zone, who I have already casted one game of, and Hontresh, which apparently has some of the admins of the tournament, which it's interesting. That's a thing apparently. So that's what we're going to be having right now. This is going to decide who is going to be going up into the grand finals to face up against, spoilers, SFB, who have already secured their spot there. So we're going to see who's going to be moving up there. The difference between the winning this and losing this is 6 keys of the prize pool, so that is good to keep in mind. Hopefully my overlay is all correct. I'm just going to check it real fast. Yes, it is fine. So, let's get this analysis underway. We have Hontresh picking up Darkseer as well as Puck as their first 2 heroes. Okay, I will. Alright, so we have Darkseer and Puck as their first 2 heroes, so already going to solidify their mid lane as well as their hard lane. Game Zone, on the other hand, going to go for very early support heroes, which is something I've been seeing a lot from these not professional teams. I really like to solidify their supports, and it's pretty weird how different it is from the super pro teams, which may not always prioritize the supports over everything else. I mean, Visage is a pretty much first pick. Batrider, the OD, stuff like that would kind of make sense. But Rubik is a hero that usually you could wait until the 3rd or 4th pick if you really want to pick up the Rubik, and there aren't really many strategies that revolve around the Rubik. So, yeah, they definitely will get it early, and it's guaranteed that they will have it. But if they didn't get it, couldn't they have just switched him out with someone else? That's the question you have to be asking yourself whenever you pick up a hero within the first 2 spots. Is if you pick up this hero, how important is he? Can I replace him with someone else and have this be have the strategy be equally as effective? If the answer is yes, you can replace him and have the strategy still work, then you probably don't want him as that first pick hero. If the answer is no, if the answer is he's probably going to get banned and I really want him to be a part of the strategy, then go ahead and first pick him. But Rubik, not really one of those heroes. Regardless, what's done is done. As Game Zone, pick up a Faceless Void as their hard carry. That is going to... That's actually a pretty huge tell from Game Zone. Faceless Void isn't exactly a carry that could contribute a whole lot to the early mid-game, such as the Alchemist, such as the Lifestealer. So that is going to signify that they're going to go super defensive. And Hontresh, although they've picked up the Darkseer, it's not too late for them to put that Darkseer into a side lane and put the Puck into the mid lane and then go for an aggressive tri-lane. Shut down the Faceless Void, Rubik, Visage tri-lane, because Faceless Void, although he does have a slow, and he will eventually have Chronosphere, he really can't contribute enough to a tri-lane. At least compared to Gyrocopter, Alchemist, Lifestealer, Luna, 3 heroes that, well, one isn't in here, but 3 heroes that aren't available in this particular pool. Hontresh still waiting to see what they're going to pick up, and it's going to be a Mirana. That's interesting. That is pretty much going to be a pure support Mirana, as Game Zone instantly respond with the Dragonite. So Dragonite versus a Puck is pretty much ideal situations for Dragonite. Dragonite is rarely ever going to win a lane versus anyone. But Puck is a hero that doesn't really have a huge amount of burst. His base damage isn't huge, and that's exactly what Dragonite wants. He wants to make as much use of the Dragon Blood as he possibly can in order to stick in the lane and then eventually get his levels up. So Hontresh going to go with that Mirana. I would say that it's going to be a support, and that means that, well, there's going to be a Sven pickup. I think the ban from Game Zone's got to be Shadow Demon at this point, because Hontresh still need a really hardcore support hero. Mirana is probably going to be playing that, but Mirana, Shadow Demon, that is the classic combination. Whether or not your Mirana is farming is irrelevant, because if that arrow gets thrown, it's probably going to hit. And Kiro is actually going to be the ban. Kind of a similar thing, although it's a lot harder to hit an Ice Path than it is to hit a Disruption. If you miss a Disruption, then you done goofed. And there's really not much that you could say that would justify that. Hontresh, what do they want to ban out? Probably Clockwork, I want to say. Clockwork, Bounty Hunter, I mean, so far Game Zone are pretty defensive in their heroes. Picking the Faceless Void up there, again, Faceless Void is another hero that they could have waited up until the 5th slot to pick up. Because when you're thinking of carries to ban out, you ban out the carries that you see on the screen right now in the ban spots. You don't exactly go towards that Faceless Void. I don't really see a huge amount of synergy with Faceless Void among the other heroes, so it's kind of an odd pickup there. Let's see what their last ban is going to be. Hontresh, I'm sorry. Big difference between Trash and Tresh. Of course, it's going to be the Naga Siren. Denying Game Zone. Yet another support, although they still do need a off-lane hero. Faceless Void in an aggressive tri-lane. Good luck doing that. It might work, maybe, occasionally, if you're lucky. If you roll a 20 and you get a critical. But more than likely, it's not going to happen. They're going to want something like a Nature's Prophet's band. They're going to want something like Clockwork, something like a Bounty Hunter. Speak of the devil, there he is. We'll let Bounty Hunter DK try to get some kills on in the early mid stage. Maybe get a little bit more gold into the Faceless Void's pockets if he drops the Chronosphere on one of the Hontresh heroes. But Bounty Hunter is one of the few offlane choices that were available to Game Zone. Darkseer already picked up by Hontresh, which is probably still one of the best, if not the best, offlane heroes to have on your side.
5 seconds remaining.
Hontresh going to take their time picking their last hero. With the Mirana Sven, you already have a good amount of stun right there. Sven's stun doesn't last the longest. It's pretty decent. It's 2 seconds, but it's really not the best setup for Mirana unless you throw the arrow beforehand or unless Mirana is right next to them. Crystal Maiden is going to be the pickup, so they're instead not going to go for a Shadow Demon, which is usually what you see whenever there's a Mirana. It's typically, it's the Shadow Demon Mirana combination. You disrupt them, you throw the arrow from long range. Disruption lasts for a really long time. At level 1, which is most important, you can see the Crystal Maiden's duration. Well, I guess you can't see the Crystal Maiden's duration. You can see the Crystal Maiden's duration now. We'll start at 1.5 seconds. We'll go up to 3. Whereas I believe the Shadow Demon starts at 3 something. I'm not sure what the exact number is, but I'm pretty sure it's just a flat amount that does not scale at all. And that's what you want. You want more time for the Mirana to get into position, for the arrow to actually fly, and of course that would translate into a longer stun duration. Regardless, with the Crystal Maiden and Sven, that should be more than enough stun duration to lock down the Bounty Hunter for the Mirana to go launch that arrow. So, let's go over who's playing what on the GZ side. Welcome back once again. We have KBK on the Visage. Pillow is going to be playing the Faceless Void this game. And we have Dougie G. All 3 of them heading down towards the bot lane in a defensive tri-lane. Dr. Chien, Dr. Dog, is going to be playing the Dragonite on the mid lane. We have Blank in a hard lane, that Bounty Hunter. That is going to be it for GZ. On the Hontresh side, we have Brandoom going to be playing the Mirana. Hypnagogic, which I'm not going to say that. Like, you can't make me say that a lot. Hypnagogic is going to be playing the Darkseer. I'm going to say it that time, and that's it. Balti is going to be playing the Puck in the mid lane. Unknown Tightness is going to be playing the Sven, and More Havoc is going to be playing Crystal Maiden. Looks like it's going to be dual lanes. That is quite interesting to see. Already observers are placed by GZ, ensuring that there is vision of this lane. And a dual lane. Darkseer Mirana, there's no synergy there. Sven Crystal Maiden is classic. That's just like, it's a classic combination. Double stun, very, very simple heroes to use. There are better lanes, of course, and Crystal Maiden going for a Ring of Regen. Rushing Tranquils, I guess. Interesting pickup. But yeah, if you are a low-level hero, not a low-level hero, if you're a low-level player, running Sven Crystal Maiden will pretty much ensure that you have a good time. Very, very easy heroes to operate. Very, very lane to operate as well. Looks like a dual lane. No, I missed it! Darkseer dies! I was so close. I was like, I'm going to look at over all the lanes. And of course I choose this lane last with the double damage Drubic opening up in the Darkseer. Classic. You know, raise your kappas and all that stuff. Because I just dropped the first blood. Oh god, it had to happen. It was bound to happen. Really, there's no way around it. Guess that's what happens when you lane a Darkseer and a Mirana together. As I said before, these heroes have no synergy with each other whatsoever. It is melee range, which means that it won't be the worst, but Normally you would say that this is a defensive tri-lane. Pillow, Dougie G, as well as KBK won't be able to do much versus these heroes, versus the other lane, because they're super defensive. But if the other two heroes in the lane don't really do anything, then the lane suddenly becomes immensely offensive. Like Rubik and as well as Visage, just having two ranged heroes versus the Darkseer, that in itself is a huge step for the GZ side. Just because they don't even need the Faceless Void. They have two heroes that can just easily poke away, and although Brand Doom can retaliate with some right click, it's not as large right click as the Rubik is going to deliver, as the Visage is going to deliver, and they could take these damage trades pretty much all day. At a certain point, Pillow, they're going to drop low enough for Pillow to say, hey, if I just time walk into that, and I hit them a couple times, I could force a leap, I could force a surge, and if they don't do that, then they might actually die. I don't know if they know that Brand Doom does not have leap, but he definitely does not. Once again, my apologies for missing that first blood. Top lane going pretty well for the Radiant, all things considered. Blank is 6 for 2 though versus the Svens. Please be larger than 6 for 2. He is 6 for 2 as well. So actually Blank is doing remarkably well in this top lane. So bottom lane winning for the Dire. Top lane winning for the Dire. Dr. Shen 14 for 4 versus Balti's 5 for... Oh, middle lane winning... Wait. Winning for the Radiant, I'm sorry. Bottom lane winning for the Radiant, top lane winning for the Radiant, and middle lane, all three winning for the Radiant. Mirana now still level 1, is going to get clubbed down. Are there any bashes? Doesn't matter, because Pillow is going to get the second kill regardless on this lane. And Hontresh off to an incredibly slow start. This top lane has yet to pour any aggression onto this Bounty Hunter because Crystal Maiden, instead of going for sentries, has opted for a Ring of Regen, which I'm not sure if that's going to actually contribute anything at all to this lane. If they had True Sight, they would be able to at least put aggression on the Bounty Hunter. But as it stands, the Bounty Hunter is free to do pretty much whatever he wants, knowing that one Shadow Walk is pretty much a get-out-of-jail-free card. And although he will be revealed if there is Frostbite cast on him first, the Crystal Maiden's going to go for Arcane Aura, 2 points. I gotta say, I don't agree with this. If you don't have sentries, your only way of locking down, or your only way of killing the Bounty Hunter, rather, is through nuking power. And Arcane Aura obviously will not give you nuking power. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Hypna is probably going to die once again. Ion Shell and Dougie not going to help him in the slightest, although it will do a little bit of damage to the Faceless Void. Another death on that bottom lane. That's not going to help you in the slightest. And I bet right now he would love to have Frostbite. Although, the burst damage, pretty high. If there was Frostbite there, that would have been the death of the Bounty Hunter. But Bounty Hunter is going to walk straight back into his tower, easy peasy. Yeah, if he had a Frostbite there, 1.5 seconds duration, it's like one right click from the Crystal Maiden, one right click from Mirana, that would have been it. But bursting the Bounty Hunter down does not involve mana regeneration, and really there's no one on the Hontresh side that really could use huge amounts of mana regeneration. Balti, yeah, you probably don't want to do that. He was going to go for the bottom rune, but going there blind with no bottle, that's risky, and their courier isn't even flying yet. Come on, Crystal Maiden, get on your game. So far, all lanes getting dominated by GZ. Hontresh not looking so great this game. Hypna's finally going to get his lane alone to himself, but he's not even level 2 yet. He doesn't have Surge, and meanwhile, the Faceless Void on the other end is a huge level 5. They're going to pick off the Bounty Hunter, who, my apologies once again for missing that kill, got a little bit too over-aggressive. Still, Hypna is not getting anything in this lane, and it's just a matter of time before Faceless Void hits that magic level 6 mark. And from there, I would say he'd be able to solo the Darkseer if he gets a couple of lucky bashes. Maybe not if he gets ground down by these Ion Shells first, but you know, if he has KBK right next to him to support with that Soul Assumption, that's going to be it. Darkseer is going to be forced to jungle, which I'm pretty sure he should have gone already to the jungle. There's not much he could do here. Rotations out and in from KBK and Dougie G, though, will probably tempt him to stay, but meanwhile in the mid lane, Dr. Shen has already popped to the level 6 mark, is already going to use that Acid Dragon form, or Poison Dragon form, in order to start chipping down this tower, already bringing it down very low, 220 HP on that tower. And in a couple of seconds, in 50 seconds that is, he could do that all over again. He is going to have to worry about a Crystal Maiden rotating in, but this Crystal Maiden is very, very light on the spells, but it looks like it might not even matter. Dr. Shen going to try to go for Balt before he goes down himself. He will barely die. If that was mischance, if that was Stout shielded, I think he would have lived. Crystal Maiden doesn't hit very hard. Unlucky from the Dragon Knight, but effective rotation from... yeah, he knows. And I feel your pain, Shen, because if the shield procced, that would have been it. But unfortunately, sometimes RNG is a bitch. That's going to give Crystal Maiden yet another level. Then they're going to get even more mana regeneration. Okay, with a build like this, you would expect them to just absolutely be spamming out their skills. Like, literally non-stop spamming. Like, throwing arrows just because. But it looks like it's going to turn around to bite them in the ass. They're going to drop a Dream Coil on Shen. But surprise, here comes Visage as well as the Rubik. Going to instantly annihilate the CM. Follow up with the Puck. I don't even think they needed the help of those two supports. Dr. Shen could have handled that Puck all by himself. But with the secondary Dragon form now up, this tower is going to die. There's nothing that they can do about it, except for Mirana throwing a random arrow just to possibly intimidate them back. There's not much mana on these heroes, with the exception of Visage, who has quite a bit of mana. But this tower is as good as dead. And there is no one here that could deny it either. So, fortification is there. Mirana. Oh, here we go, Mirana. Oh, with the baller plays. Is there a Dragon Tail? Yes, there is, onto more Havoc. He's going to eat a Dragon Tail to the face, and Dragon Knight is going to dodge the arrow. So they got the tower denied in exchange for another death in the Crystal Maiden. Definitely worth it for the Hontresh side, but I don't know if they could afford to keep giving away these kills. Because Crystal Maiden, she's only really useful to her team if she's alive. If she's dead, there's no aura. And you invested 3 points into that. Of course, it's like, oh, you're only effective if you're alive in this game. Pro tip, stay alive in these games. Oh, I didn't realize. Thanks for telling me. Meantime, bottom lane Pillow has rushed up a Midas 8 minutes in. Pretty quick on that. He is 37 CS, which isn't the most, but it's still a rather quick hand of Midas to have on this Faceless Void, which you will use to accelerate quite a bit. And Hontresh on the other end, 31 for 3. Sven not keeping up with the Dragon Knight, not keeping up with the Faceless Void. And Sven is a hero that he doesn't need as much as Faceless Void, but he will need a good deal of items, and that's a lot of money that there's a lot of money that he still needs if he wants to be any sort of effective. Because right now, in a 1v lane versus the Bounty Hunter, this Sven is probably not going to have the best of times, especially since Bounty Hunter has picked up 3 points in Janata. He's going to take a Storm Hammer right away, but you can see Blank is absolutely fearless with the bottle, with another salve as well. He could just restore everything up, and he could go for round 2, because the Sven shouldn't have mana for another, yet he doesn't. This might be the death of Unknown Titan. It's just Blank going to dive him straight to the tower. The armor might help him a little bit, 50 HP, not going to be quite enough. Or is it? Come on, Secret Agent Bounty Hunter. No, Unknown Titaness is not going to get super greedy. Blank is going to run straight into an invisible Mirana, but there's no sentries here. There are sentries here. This could be a kill on Blank, actually, if they play their cards correctly. There's the Frostbite. Where's the arrow? There's the arrow. It's just barely going to miss, however. That's why you level up Frostbite as opposed to your aura, because it doesn't matter how much mana regeneration you have if you can't kill the opponents. If that Frostbite, or if that Nova was level 3 instead of the aura, that definitely would have been a kill on that bottom lane hero. Hypnagogic on the bottom lane is going to get pulled back. He does have a little bit more surge. Where's the time walk into that sphere? Where is it? Pillow can't get it off. He got mini stunned by the coil, and that's going to lead to his death. They are going to secure the kill on the Dark Tier, however. That is going to give the KBK this level 6 mark, which is going to be enough to kill off the Puck as well. So they lost the Faceless Void, definitely far from optimal, but they picked up 2 in trade. Rubik did stay alive. So in total, I think GZ are going to be completely okay with that. Faceless Void is going to be pissed because of that Dream Coil timing. He jumped in right into a Dream Coil. Gotta hate when that happens, especially since Hand of Midas was available to him when he decided to go in. But, you know, shit happens, and he didn't actually secure 2 kills for his team, but he got, his team got the kills, which is important, right? That's what's important. On top lane, Brandu and more Havoc. Both trying to take down this tower, but Blank is here with level 3 Janata. Huge damage onto that Mirana, and he has a haste rune from something. I guess it was old in his bottle. You can use that to push them back, and Dragon Knight with an armlet. Wow, 10-minute armlet in the mid lane Dragon Knight. I guess 2 kills plus a tower kill will do that for you. Actually, a tower deny. But regardless, this Dragon Knight is going to be absolutely dishing in damage. Probably BKB will be his next item, or Power Treads BKB rather. Once he gets those up, then this Dragon Knight is going to be pretty much untouchable. The Sven is pretty much the only one who does any sort of physical damage, and even then he will have to work through Dragon Blood, and even then he has to get some items. Because God Strength makes you do a lot of damage, but only if you actually have some items. Blank, he get initiated upon, but he's going to turn this one around with the help of Dr. Shen. Brand Doom cannot get a leap away. He will get a leap away, actually, just barely. And Illusory Orb from the Rubik stolen. We'll give him some experience as he moves on in. Illusory Orb from Balti, though. He's going to get slammed with the stun as soon as he jumps into his orb. He's going to dodge the last hit, and he's going to secure the kill on the Bounty Hunter. Not bad from the Puck, but in total, it's only a kill on the Bounty Hunter in exchange for yet another 3-hero wipe in favor of GZ. 12-4 now is the score in Unknown Tightness, as well as Indigo going to try to go for Dr. Shen. He does have the armlet toggle, so he shouldn't die here unless he massively screws up. And he looks like he's just going to walk away. Easy peasy. Puck came in at the perfect timing. I mean, got a good silence, got a good coil, secured the kill onto that Bounty Hunter. But in the end, it just wasn't enough. His teammates, not tanky enough, don't put out nearly enough damage. And Hontresh really struggling to stay alive in this game. EXP Gold both slowly crawling in favor of GZ, and well, I would say that really GZ, their strongest isn't even this point in the game. This is where I would say Hontresh should be dominating. They have the heroes, they have Crystal Maiden, Mirana, and Sven. Those three heroes are absolutely devastating in the early stages of the game, whereas Faceless Void, Rubik, not so much. Because Rubik doesn't actually do any damage. Like, a lot of people forget that. Rubik is technically a support hero, but he's all about the setup. His Fade Bolt does a lot of damage if he gets a high level, which it's too late. If he was like a level 5-6 hero, he would have no damage, because Fade Bolt doesn't do that actually that much. Level 4 even does less than normal, less than average amounts of damage. But since he got the levels up, that issue is kind of pretty much laid moot at this point. And Hontresh, very, very hard behind. They're going to get Unknown Tightness engaged upon. No, deciding not to jaunt to that orb. It's going to be KBK who's in a little bit of trouble, as 4 heroes from the Hontresh side are going to dive him. There's a June Coil going to drop down. Frostbite as well, and the Nova, and a Freezing Field. Yeah, that guy's dead. He's really, really dead. No arrow being used, no arrow necessary. Let's see if they can get any of these familiars on their way out. And there's one hit, and that's about it. Brand Doom going to be forced to leap out. Balti teleporting up to the top lane, where Sven got a little bit of initiation onto himself. This orb is so very useful for Rubik to take. I guess it's second only to leap for initiation. Actually, orb is probably a lot more useful for him. It is slower, but you know what you're going to do. Can't have everything. Meantime, middle lane, Dr. Shen, as well as the Faceless Void, pushing out this mid lane just a little bit. I don't think there's been a single Chronosphere dropped just yet, but there's really, with the exception of what happened down here, no real opportunities for the Faceless Void to drop a great Chronosphere. And that is actually pretty good. That means he has a lot of time to farm, and he has a Hand of Midas up available to use again. No sense saving that, probably going to eat the wolf with it. And the Faceless Void continues to farm up. Oh, Balti going to take a Dragon Tail straight to the face. There's a 2-man Chronosphere. Unknown Tightness and Balti. Both, well, Balti on the edge and Unknown Tightness is in the middle. They're both going to fall. Starstorm from the Mirana, not nearly going to be enough. And Dragonite sitting at very low amounts of HP, but he's going to go for Lifesteal after this. Wow. BKB be damned. He's going to go full tanky with Lifesteal. Hit me with all your magic spells. He doesn't care. And now they're going to go for the mid lane, possibly. Dr. Shen is not what I would say very healthy at this point, although 19 HP regen per second, that's pretty absurd. Look at this regen. This is ungodly. Soul Ring, Armlet regeneration, as well as Helm of Iron will regen. That's absurd. Brand Doom, wow, taking a huge chunk of damage. Where's the random Breathe Fire? Soul Assumption, not going to do it. Blank is going to dive more havoc. And KBK taking a good amount of damage as tanks the tower. There's the vacuum, as well as a long-range arrow into Dougie G, rather. That's going to kill him off as he gets worked down by the illusion of the Visage. There's a Dream Coil onto 2, Pillow as well as Dr. Shen, both without their ultimates for the moment. Dr. Shen going to try to eat his way through. The orb, though, is there. Balti is there with the Ion Shell that will kill off this Dragonite. He's going to try to hide. He's going to try to hide in the corner. I don't know how he's surviving that long. Armlet toggling through Ion Shell of all things. In the meantime, we have KBK getting chased down by Unknown Tightness. Does not have Stormhammer up just yet. He gave him the juke around, though. Where's the random arrow? Brand Doom. From long range, it's not going to happen. They're instead going to try to go for Blank. Dragonite buys back into the game. Looks like they cannot decide on who to go for. And in the end, they get neither of those heroes. Hontresh take a decent fight, forcing out a couple buybacks from the GZ side. I believe Faceless Void did in fact escape from that fight, but they did secure the kill on the Dragonite in exchange for, I believe, only Crystal Maiden. That fight actually went pretty well for them. Arrow, and Pillow's going to eat it to the face. Starstorm is going to be backtracked once from Pillow, but it's not going to be enough. The Ion Shell maxed out now from Hypna is going to secure that kill for the team. That was pretty damn lucky from Faceless Void, though, gotta say. 20% chance to dodge, and he dodged it. Top lane being pushed for the Dragon Knight, but I really want to pay attention to Blank. Is there any true sight on this bottom lane? They're going to spot him, so it kind of renders that point moot as well. But Unknown Tightness, this is not a fight that you really want to take. Because Dragon Knight could kick your ass. Because you don't actually do any damage, Sven. And he has an armlet, as well as lifesteal. It's dangerous. Truly is. But 15 for 8. The golden experience, well, experience not so much, but GZ still have a pretty dominant lead in those two departments. It's not growing as fast as GZ would really like, given that little bit of aggressive tower dive on this tier 2 tower. Sometimes you just gotta dodge the opponents.
Radiant structures must have been fortified.
Fortification on this tier mid tower as Hontresh try to take down their first tower of the game. Their pushing is fairly weak though, and they don't have the Sven with them. And in the end, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade if they get this tower at all. KBK is here to draw the aggro. And, well, it's just going to be the heroes working these down. Hypna is going to try to tank this, but here comes Dougie G with the Fade Bolt. Doesn't matter because the tower does go down, but it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Another creep wave on the bottom lane, although 2 teleportations coming in. Faceless Void does have his sphere up. Hypna's going to come in with very, very low amounts of HP. Shuriken's going to fly. That's going to bring him low, 250 HP on him. And the tower is going to be denied. The second tower deny, Hontresh. Getting some value out of their towers, but Hypna is going to get chased down by these familiars and track as well. Is there any more damage? There's a little bit more. They are going to secure that kill on the Darkseer. Wow, Visage Birds out of nowhere. I don't think these birds are long for life, though. This is going to force a resummon. No, there's no resummon. And one's going to die at least, right? One should die? Yeah, one's going to die, but to the tower, so it doesn't really give them that much gold. It doesn't give them any gold, I don't think. But regardless, they did take a tower, but it's really Dr. Shen still on this top lane, still being a menace with that poison tick damage on the tower. Going to force Unknown Tightness up to that top lane once again, going to give his team that much more freedom to do whatever the hell they want. And whatever the hell they want involves pretty much just pure farming. Faceless Void going to go for a super defensive item in the BKB. Can't really blame him considering how much magical damage there is on the Hontresh side. Oh, Blank. Going to walk straight by that puck, but it's going to be Unknown Tightness who feels the wrath of that mistake. He's going to get an Observer Ward dropped right on top of him, but the huge damage from a double damage Bounty Hunter going to do the damage to bring him down. Dream Coil onto KBK, that's going to bring him down. More Havoc, going to unleash the Freezing Field, not going to be enough damage to kill off Blank. Here comes Hypnagogic as well as Dr. Shen, going to be equal reinforcements for both sides. Breathe Fire onto the Crystal Maiden, going to kill him off. Balti now take stunned from the Dragon Tail, going to get silenced by Dougie G, get stolen, is going to be able to secure the kill. Familiar eating the arrow on the way towards the chase of Hypnagogic. Dr. Shen needs just one more cast of Breathe Fire to do that. Get that kill, he will secure that. Dragon Tail not quite up as Brandoom going to leap his way out of there. Leap stolen by Rubik though, going to get a pull up. Is there a Fade Bolt? It will not kill him. It will just barely not kill him. And an arrow going to be thrown, not going to hit onto anything. Tower is going to drop on this top lane, and 20-9 is the score. Hontresh still without their Sven. Was Sven there? I don't think Sven was there. Sven was there. He was there. Yes, he was there in the beginning, right? He got ganked. But contributing pretty much nothing to that fight. And Dream Coil is only onto 1 walls with no vacuum. The game is looking very, very rough because that wasn't even GZ's strongest team fight. The Faceless Void is still on this bottom lane, just doing his own thing. Now does have a BKB flying out towards him. We'll probably look towards a super aggressive item, a super aggressive damaging item. Next, probably something along the lines of Chrysalis, Daedalus, or maybe even MKB or something like that. Just anything that could just do the damage, because once he jumps into the Chronosphere, he's not going to get disabled. But at the same time, he's not going to do much else. Dr. Shen with that armlet, with that Helm of the Dominator, going to clear out a quadruple stack, I believe. There were, yeah, quadruple stack of Ancients. Some pretty good gold for him. It's going to give him enough gold to buy that Reaver if he wants to instantly turn that Helm of the Dominator into a Satanic. Not too sure if that's what he wants to do, but the option is available to him. Bot lane tower is going to drop, but looks like it's going to be once again at the trade of a tier 2 tower this time. Definitely not a trade I would recommend taking, and the Hontresh side can't really afford to defend this at this current junction.
Dire's mid tower could
Fortunately
easily
for them, the Dragon Knight's going to run out of Dragon form very shortly, but still, the Chronosphere of the Faceless Void that's now the real problem. Tower goes down, and, well, they can start pushing the high ground.
Radiant's bottom
God Strength
tower
is up, maxed out Warcry, going to help this tower destruction a little bit for them, but there's a Buckler on the other end, and this tower is going to drop a lot faster than Hontresh can bring down the tier 2. Mass teleportations are coming in, and do they want to fight this? Pillow going to take a pretty big hit from that Nova, now maxed out, so about time on that one. And more Havoc going to get Frostbite on the Familiars, which does absolutely nothing. The Vacuum is going to completely whiff. So Pillow now looking for an opportunity to jump in and get a Chronosphere. He had an opportunity for a 3-man just a little bit ago. Just got to wait for those opportunities. Bot lane is still being pushed. The tier 2 tower did go down, so in total, it is going to favor Hontresh, taking 2 towers, only losing 1.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Though the mid lane tower is still in a little bit of danger. Now teleportation back from Pillow, gonna get a huge amount of farm. With that Iron Shell stolen by Rubik, yeah. So Pillow's gonna secure all of that good farm for himself. And the mid lane tower is still very, very weak. Blank now. Gonna go for Balti, just poke him a little bit. Shuriken gets dodged, but really there's nothing. Oh, well, there it is. There's the Dream Coil snapped as well. Arrow into the face, and Blank might have bitten off more than he could chew. He's going to try to get out of there with invisibility. No, not even available to him. More Havoc was there for the Nova. So Blank getting definitely a little bit too aggressive. That will give Puck a little bit more gold. Get him to be 400 gold away from that Blink Dagger. That will help that positioning with the Dream Coils. Hopefully hit more than one hero at the time, but Tier 2 Tower in a little bit of trouble now. Fade Bolt going to bounce through, draw the aggro. Still not the most pushing, and Orange, though, still on top. Won't have a TP for another 10 seconds. A couple of familiar stomps, slowing them down just a little bit. More poking flies through. And there's the Pillow jumping in. He's going to get a Chronosphere only onto 1, however. Where's the BKB? There it is. Unknown Titaness is not long for life. He's going to drop very, very quickly. Pillow now going to turn his focus to Brand Doom. However, there is no True Sight. So everyone, with the exception of Sven, is going to get out of there. Ultimate for ultimate, but they also forced out a 10-second BKB charge in the Faceless Void. However, on the top side, Dragon Knight is still being problematic. Going to get a solo kill onto Hypna? Yeah, that's going to happen. He's going to keep pushing this tower. Who else wants them? He's going to go for Balti next. Balti, that was probably not your best plan of all time.
Dire's top tower.
He's going to blink out of there. Was that a Blink Dagger? No, that was a Jaunt. He's going to instead go for more Havoc. He'll have them one at a time. One at a time. Just line up. Line up into the buffet that is the Dragon's Maw. Because this top tower is going to go down, the mid tower is going to go down. That's going to be at least one set of Raxes. I don't think they can secure both. Sven's going to come in, going to get a Stormhammer onto Blank. But mid lane's going to drop. Top tower has already dropped. Dr. Shen slowly... Oh, well, there's a Levitate onto the Sven. Following up with Stormhammer, following up with the Dragon Tail. Burst down 100 to 0. Easy peasy. Everyone Delta Split. The Creep did not Delta Split, so he got hit by the arrow. But still, the top lane Raxes are not long for life. Puck does have a Dream Coil, but he does not have his Blink Dagger. You do not want to spend buyback money this early into the game. Brand Doom as well as him to go. You're going to get initiated upon. No Chronosphere this time, but it doesn't matter because Darkseer are instantly getting blown up. Long range soul assumption is going to secure the kill onto the Run. Now more Havoc. He can get bashed as soon as he tries to channel that Freezing Field. He's going to die as well. Now it's just fountain farming time. They should just go back and get the mid lane Raxes. But instead, they're going to mess around with Daggons on Bounty Hunter. Rubik's with 4 stabs and Blink Daggers. Looks like Pillow wants to end this game. Good on you, Pillow. And there's the GG call. Brand Doom has had enough of this game. So, the Grand Finals, it is going to be GZ versus SFB for the Balt Cup 2. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to be moving on to that very shortly, so stick around. Again, the difference between the winners and losers in this game was 6 keys. And I believe the difference between the winner and loser of the Grand Finals is 12 keys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. GG.
GG!